Well, it finally happened. Brian Stelter trended on Twitter, which usually happens when somebody does something amazing, like a billionaire launching themselves into space, or when a conservative says something that triggers so many liberals that causes them to trend from complaining about it. Like when I made a joke about Michelle Obama in 2016 during her speech at the DNC.
I just want to throw up one of your tweets because I found it hilarious. I think it deserves to be shown on the screen as we exit the segment here. I know you had a lot of backlash for this, but when I saw it, I had a pretty good gut laugh about this one. Everyone loved her speech. I loved your tweet. Mark, thanks so much for being with me tonight and always combating those social justice warriors.
But in Little Brian's case, as you probably know, it was because people were mocking him, and it started with his own guest.
I think the media has done a terrible job on this. I think you yourself, while you're a nice guy, you're full of sanctimony. You become part of one of the parts of the problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. Sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
So, what should I do different, Michael?
Don't talk so much. Listen more. People have genuine problems with the media. The media doesn't get the story right. The media exists in its own bubble.
That's true. I agree.
You gotta stop. I mean, that last segment that I just had to listen to of all of the people saying the same old stuff. Also, you're incredibly repetitive. It's week after week. I mean, you're the flip side of Donald Trump. Fake news, and you say virtuous news.
We just figure out what is real.
I mean,
I'm listening.
Well, figuring out what is real is not so easy, and
Right.
Most people don't want to turn to Brian Stelter to tell us what's real. I'm sorry.
Like most clowns, while he's laughing on the outside, he's definitely crying on the inside. And while Michael Wolff is definitely a snake, he was surprisingly candid about the entire interview.
Well, then why'd you bother coming on CNN a few times this week?
I'm a book salesman.
Apparently, Brian enjoys being humiliated, obviously, because what most people don't know is that Michael Wolff has done this to him before.
I mean this with truly no disrespect, but I think you can border on being sort of quite a ridiculous figure.
He is ridiculous. I mean, what's next? Is he going to start salivating over his lunch live on the air? Oh, wait, what's this?
This is my lunch. I just pulled it out of the fridge. Ham and cheese on whole wheat. All these ingredients taste just fine on their own, but they're a whole lot better together.
Well, he needs his comfort food. His crush, Michael Avenatti, just got sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for trying to extort Nike out of millions of dollars when Little Brian thought that he would be president by now instead. I'm not speaking hyperbolically when I say that Brian Stelter is literally the biggest laughingstock in all of conservative media, and this latest exchange with Michael Wolff became fodder for every talk show host, television host, conservative Twitter personality, YouTuber, everyone.
Don't talk so much, listen more. You are full of sanctimony, you're incredibly repetitive. To which the anchor said, it's hard to imagine a more succinct summation of modern media than that. Sanctimonious and stupid. Exactly. Smart people understand their own flaws. Self-righteousness is for morons.
Poor Humpty Dumpty. We'll have more later. Tucker, thank you.
And since Donald Trump is no longer in the White House, Tater has turned his attention to Tucker Carlson as his new public enemy number one.
Carlson is sounding more and more like InfoWars host and notorious conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. You can hear the similarities.
The NSA has been reading our emails.
It's not that I think the government spies on me. It's admitted that they do it.
So FBI operatives were organizing the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, according to government documents.
It is overwhelming, the evidence that criminal elements of the federal government provocateured and staged January 6th.
All right, Oliver Darcy is back with me. I think this sound speaks for itself. Is it a stretch to say that Tucker Carlson is the new Alex Jones?
It's not a stretch, Brian. Tucker Carlson is the new Alex Jones. If you watch Tucker Carlson's program and you watch Alex Jones's program, they might differ a little bit in antics and the way they deliver their message, but that message to viewers is consistent, and it's pretty identical. Well, in many ways, they are pretty similar, so it's no wonder that I'm fans of them both.
This is the guy that pushed for me to be deplatformed. Now he wants Tucker Carlson taken off the air. He wants OAN taken off the air. He says it's dangerous that such things exist, and that they've created a parallel universe.
Also this week, Rand Paul went toe-to-toe again with Mr. Fauci, and because of his perjury before Congress, Rand has decided to, well, I'll let him explain.
You kicked off your questioning of Dr. Fauci, emphasizing federal law makes lying to Congress a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Is it your belief, based on the evidence, Senator, that he lied before Congress and broke the law?
Yes, and I will be sending a letter to the Department of Justice asking for a criminal referral because he has lied to Congress.
Sadly, he'll never be prosecuted. The Justice Department is too busy trying to throw the mostly peaceful protesters who went on an unauthorized tour of the Capitol on January 6th into prison for long-term sentences instead. This guy just got sentenced to 8 months in prison despite pleading guilty, assuming that it would get him a light sentence in exchange of possibly probation and community service, when he wasn't even accused of breaking anything or assaulting any of the police officers that day. And the prosecutors were disappointed because they wanted him to be sentenced to more time in prison. In other news, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin openly admitted the Democrats' endgame for their mass immigration plan. Something you may recall, if a Republican were to point out and disagree with, they would be called a racist conspiracy theorist.
The demographics of America are not on the side of the Republican Party. The new voters in this country are moving away from them, away from Donald Trump, away from their party creed that they preach. And instead, they're moving to be independents or to even vote on the other side. To argue and fight against that, the Republicans in legislative settings are reducing and restricting the opportunity to vote. That's what it's all about.
I'm old enough to remember when the Democrats said that the LGBT agenda was just a conspiracy theory, and now there's a transgender model on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition this year. Well, with enough photoshopping, I guess you could fit Rosie O'Donnell into a bikini, because we are living in a crazy world. If you like watching my videos, I know you're going to love my books, so order Hollywood Propaganda, How TV, Movies, and Music Shape Our Culture in paperback from Amazon.com, or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. And of course, there's a link to the paperback listing in the description below, so click it and head on over there and check it out.